What's up, guys? Soldier Only here for Sports Nerd Web Weekly. Um, Last Wednesday was the Sony Playstation Meeting event in New York City. They announced the PS4 Slim, which is going to be the base PlayStation 4 model now, and that's going to retail for $299. And then they finally talked about the PlayStation Neo, which is actually going to be called the PlayStation 4 Pro. I'm not really sure how I feel about the name, but um, and it's actually going to be coming out a lot sooner than I thought it would, than I was expecting it. It's supposed to be coming out November 10th with a price point of $399, and that's actually a lot cheaper than I thought it would be too. I was kind of picturing it easily being $499 or $599, somewhere in that range. But the PS4 Pro, it's going to have 4K and HDR gaming. The Xbox One S that came out last month uh, has HDR gaming, but only 4K video playback. So that's only like video playing and streaming. But the PS4 Pro will have 4K and HDR gaming. So you're gonna get upgraded visuals. The GPU in the PS4 Pro is actually twice as big as the one in the standard PS4. So and then you're gonna be getting faster processing speeds as well, faster download speeds. And another thing I like about it a lot is that it's coming with a 1 terabyte hard drive instead of the standard 500 gig one that comes in the base PS4s. And it is going to be forward compatible, so any PlayStation 4 game that you have now will work on the PS4 Pro from day one. And likewise, any game that comes in the future will work on the PS4 Pro and the base PS4 as well. So the user base isn't being alienated or split up in any way. So there's also this was kind of a really strange announcement, but Sony also announced that there's going to be a patch coming up. It should be coming actually this week to upgrade every PS4 since day one. Every PS4 that's ever came out since day one there's going to be a patch coming out, a firmware update coming out to upgrade it to HDR. So that kind of like makes you wonder if like if you're gonna release a firmware to update every PS4 anyways, like what's the point of the PS4 Pro? But I don't know. You are. They said even if you don't have a 4K or HDR capable television yet, you are going to see upgrades with the PS4 Pro. But obviously, you're going to want a 4K TV and HDR TV to take full advantage of the new console. Um, so like I easily would be a day one adopter of the PS4 Pro. I know that us personally, I know that we're going to be looking into a 4K HDR TV at some point in the near future. So I am stoked about the PS4 Pro. I think it's going to be neat. They showed a few games running on it, and they looked amazing. They showed the new Spider-Man game from Insomniac, and it looked incredible. You can just see the detail in Spider-Man's suit, like in the fabric, and the textures of it was amazing. And they showed Days Gone. It was incredible looking at how many zombies were on screen at once and how fast and fluid they were moving. And that game looks pretty intense. And they also showed Horizon Zero Dawn. And I was already looking forward to that game, but after seeing this demo, my hype factor for that game went through the roof. It looks amazing. The platforming in it actually it kind of looks like that it controls a lot like the Uncharted games. So if the platforming is as solid in Horizon as they are in the Uncharted games, then it's going to be amazing. Um, One thing I wanted to do is kind of like since the announcement of the PS4 Pro, of course, Microsoft has been coming out saying, yeah, maybe, Microsoft has still been saying that their Scorpio that's going to be coming out next year is still going to be the most powerful console ever made. Um, you, they've actually said that the Scorpio is going to have 6 teraflops of processing power compared to the PS4 is supposed to have 4.20. It's kind of 420, right? It's kind of weird that that's what it is, but that's crazy if the Scorpio is actually going to be able to get 6 teraflops because the standard PS4, I think, don't quote me on it, but if I remember right, I think it's like 1.8. So just from PS4 to PS4 Pro is a huge upgrade. So if if Microsoft Scorpio, that's supposed to be coming out the holidays of 2017 next year, if they are able to get 6 teraflops out of it, that is going to be the most powerful console ever made. That's starting to push almost kind of getting that's getting closer to PC specs. And obviously with 6 teraflops, you're going to be able to get a lot closer to true 4K HDR gaming with that as well. So um, we're just going to have to wait and see. So, but yeah, the November 10th release date for the PS4 Pro, it was a lot sooner than I was expecting. Um, I was kind of expecting maybe like in like a spring 2017 release or something on it, but it's definitely yeah, it's definitely sooner than I thought, and it's definitely coming in a pretty crowded fall release schedule, like video game wise, because there's a lot of great games coming out this fall that I'm gonna be getting into in a little bit here. Speaking of games coming out, the Destiny Rise of Iron expansion is coming out next week. I actually had a few questions emailed to the show or tweeted at the show. You can tweet the show at SportsNerd48. One of the questions was, with Rise of Iron coming out next week, what are you most excited about, and what do you want in Destiny 2? The first part of the question, what am I most excited about with Rise of Iron? Obviously, it's just getting new content. Period. I play Destiny daily. I absolutely love that game. Granted, I only did get into it. I think I've been playing it maybe about 3 or 4 months. I know I'm getting close to 300 hours in the game, but I still have a ton of crap to do to it. You know, I still have a lot of stuff that I haven't done in it. Um, but obviously, yeah, what I'm most excited about with Rise of Iron is just new content. You know, there's a ton of new weapons, weapons, gear, armor. We're getting 4 new Crucible maps, a whole new Crucible mode, Supremacy, which is basically Call of Duty's Kill Confirmed. Um, I did read in a Game Informer that there also is supposed to be like a slight visual upgrade, which I can see it happening now that Bungie has dropped the legacy consoles support from Destiny from Bungie. So there's not going to be anything new coming out on PS3 or Xbox 360 or anything like that, like Destiny wise. So with them dropping that should free up some room, for improved assets and stuff like that. So I kind of wouldn't be surprised if there is like just really slight visual upgrades. Um, but yeah, I am so stoked for Rise of Iron coming out next week. I can't wait for it. And then what I would like in Destiny 2, um, pretty much just more of the same. I would like I would kind of like the narrative to be a little better, a little deeper. Like the base game of Destiny, I know that was a big fault a lot of people had with it, was, you're starting this new franchise and there was so much lore and stuff that they created that they could have pulled from to make the story better. But I mean, like, there wasn't that many cutscenes in the base game, and it was just kind of weird. But definitely with the Taken King, you can tell Bungie um, learned from their shortcomings in the base game, because the Taken King was so much better, like narrative wise. There was more cutscenes in Taken King like in the first hour than there was in the entire base Destiny game. So with Destiny 2, I'm sure it will probably be a lot like the Taken King. It will probably be much more better narrative driven. Uh, so I definitely want just a much bigger story, like just to dive deeper into the lore, because I do love the whole lore and background of Destiny as well. That's another thing that kind of has me surprised or stoked for Rise of Iron, because I'm pretty stoked to learn about the Iron Lords, the history of them. All that we really know about them is that they're pretty much extinct now. We know that they sacrificed themselves to save humanity. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Another question that was sent in: after Rise of Iron, what are you looking forward to most this year? Like coming up in the second half of this year. There's a lot of great games coming out this fall. We got Gears of War 4, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Dishonored 2, Titanfall 2. Even though I probably won't get it, but Final Fantasy 15, there's a lot of people looking forward to that. Battlefield 1, that's another one that I personally probably won't get. Um, I played the beta, and it was good. Like I can see what it's good for, but like I said in our podcast just the other day, um, I just don't think that the World War games, they're really not my cup of tea, pretty much. The Bioshock collection comes out today, I believe, actually. Mafia 3, is coming out. Mafia 3 is probably gonna be a game that I'll get on GameFly to try out. I don't think it's really gonna be a game that I'm gonna get on day one, just because I've never played any of the Mafia games yet. But Mafia 3 does look really good. But the ones this fall that I'm probably looking most forward to, Dishonored 2 definitely. Gears 4 definitely. That's actually going to be the next one that I'm getting after Rise of Iron. Because it's coming out kind of in the first half of October, I believe. Um, but after playing the beta, I think what I'm probably looking forward to most this fall is probably Titanfall 2. I had a lot of fun playing that beta. It was really good, and obviously the beta was only the multiplayer mode, so we didn't get to play any of the single player campaigns. So I'm really looking forward to play the Titanfall 2 single player campaign to see what they do with it, do with that. Um, yeah, and then after this fall, going into next year, there's a lot of good games that we already know that are going to be coming out at some point, like in the first half of next year. January 28th, for instance, Resident Evil 7. That game is definitely right. I've been the biggest Resident Evil fan since day one of that series. I love the Resident Evil series. Um, I mean, I'm even a fan of the awful movies because I love the franchise that much. Um, but yeah, Resident Evil 7 looks amazing. It looks like a totally flip around from what Capcom has been doing. Pretty much the whole series. It's different. It looks like something that they've never done in the whole series, but it's definitely a change from Resident Evil 5 and 6 because we all know a lot of fans didn't really like those. I mean, Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games of all time. I still like Resident Evil 5 a lot. I still like Resident Evil 6 to some degree, but I can easily see it being if Resident Evil 7 would have been like still going down that same path, I could easily be seeing it like I probably would have hated 7 because it was definitely going down that path that it was going to get to that point that eventually I probably wouldn't have started liking it because 6 was kind of but Resident Evil 7 looks amazing. Mass Effect Andromeda, that's another a huge game that I'm looking forward to next year. I think that's going to be awesome. So yeah, as gamers, we got a lot to look forward to in the coming months and looking ahead into next year. And like I said, holidays of next year is the Microsoft Scorpio. So it's going to be really neat to see what comes with that comes out of that. So that's going to do it for this week. Make sure you like, comment, or subscribe to the videos on YouTube. You can check out the Sports Nerd Web Weekly playlist on our YouTube channel to watch past episodes of this. Um, we have our me and my girlfriend. We have our weekly podcast we do on Sundays. You can check out the page at Spreaker.com/user/sportsnerdweb. I live stream games daily on Twitch. That's at twitch.tv/soldieronly. Uh, I have a new Instagram now at Soldier. That it's at Soldier Only Gaming, and of course the main central hub for everything in the world of Sports Nerd Web. It's the blog site. Make sure you follow that at sorry, sportsnerdweb.wordpress.com. I'll have all the links, at the bottom of this video. So until I'll see you next week, and until then, be good to each other and take care. Cheers.